Welcome boys, it's Rock3tt here. Finally, after many changes in last few months, during which many of you asked me to do Vladimir guide, I did it. This video will tell you my opinion on Vlad build and his playstyle in new meta, because Vladimir had been changed few times in last year. It began with his rework in April and continues with many nerfs and boosts after that, but finally I hope he is already balanced and will not be changed again. So for me and for all of you, I think it's the best time to do Vladimir guide now, to give you some tips and tricks and how to play him correctly. So let's go for this. First thing I have to talk about is if he is more tanky or he is simply mage. After his rework you could see LCS players to play him with Strength of the Ages Mastery, and I have to say it was definitely correct and right choice for Vlad, but things changed a lot. I mean, his E had really strong HP ratio, which meant its damage was really insane with a lot of HP on Vlad, but this is not true anymore. In 6.21 update, Riot decreased HP ratio and increased AP ratio on E, as well as AP ratio on heal from Q. It means that now he benefits from AP much more than any time before. Even a reverse of his passive back to old one meant less AP from bonus health. Of course, these are not the only changes on him, but I think that these changes influence his playstyle and build the most, and decided that Vlad should not be played so tanky anymore. If you count to that the heal from ultimate, which is also increased by AP, and his passive, which make you off tanky even with full AP build, in my eyes there is no doubt that he can simply build AP, and that's also the reason why I'm not playing tanky Vladimir anymore. Now let's check what runes and masteries I'm using on Vlad. I like the most masteries 18-12-0, which means Ferocity 3 with focusing on magic penetration, AP and damage increase. In detail, it's sorcery, 2% increased damage, feast which restore 20 health on unit kill, but you can choose whatever mastery in this line, all three are good for Vladimir. Natural talent which gives you scaling AP. Vampirism is not bad choice here, but I don't know, 2% spell is kinda low and useless I think. In the next line you can also try whatever master you want. All three increase your damage, which is really good for Vladimir, but I like the most Bounty Hunter, which gives you the most damage if you can kill 4 or 5 unique enemies. Then Magic Penetration and Deathfire Touch, which is really good in fight with an enemy, because if you use your spells before your pull, then you can do pretty much damage even while you're in your W. In Cunning 3 it's Savagery for easier farming with auto hits, which Vladimir really needs, especially in early game. Assassin's 2% damage is good choice because Vlad is only for solo lanes. Merciless to be able to finish your targets, and Dangerous Game, which is another healing for Vlad after kills. So these masteries I like the most because they increase damage potential and instant kill potential for Vladimir. Another choice for masteries can be 12-18-0 with 5% more cooldown reduction and Thunder Lord or Storm Rider, but I don't know, if you will try Vladimir's damage with Ferocity 3, I think you will like it more the same like me. Okay, there are also runes to talk about. I am using only 2 different runes on Vladimir, and it's full AP or AP and HP runes. Simply, if I am too self-confident to handle lane against enemy pick, then I'm using full AP. But if there are dangerous picks against, then I take AP and HP runes to be safer in laning phase. These runes are pretty similar, I'm just changing between AP seals or HP seals. If you are learning Vladimir and don't have pretty much self-confidence, feel free to use second choice. There is change of something around 5 AP for 72 HP, which really can help you to survive hard matchups. And by the hard matchups I mean Cassiopeia, Swain, Zed, LeBlanc, Ryze and so on. These are really annoying to handle. So that's it about the runes and masteries, and now let's check build and items for Vladimir. At first let's talk about summoner spells. The only viable option for Vlad is Ghost and Flash. Believe me guys, I tried many games with Ignite Flash or TP and Flash, but Ghost and Flash is really important for Vladimir because he has no gap closer, he has so low movement speed, and without Ghost many targets can easily run away of you and you will not be able to take kills that you could easily do. So don't hesitate about the summoner spells and use only Ghost and Flash. As starting items there are 3 different options: Boots and 4 potions, Doran Shield and Potion, or Amplifying Tom and Potion. If there is a melee or ranged champion that can jump on you or engage you easily, then Doran Shield is a good choice to handle trades easier. Enemies like that are Pantheon, Wukong, Rengar, Kassadin, Echo, and so on. If there is a champion that can poke you from a long range and you have to avoid as many spells as it is possible, then Boots and 4 potions is the best choice, to be faster and to have more potions to get your health back. But if you are not first timer Vladimir and you are able to handle trades and pokes even without these options, then you can try Amplifying Tom and Potion, which I like the most, because I can rush my damage items faster. And yes, even when many people around are wondered, I'm rushing Rabadon's Death Cap because it's the only item that brings you more than 200 AP in 12 or 13 minutes of the game, which helps you to have insane damage in mid-game. Now let's go talk about full build. As I said in the beginning of the video, Vladimir should not be played so tanky anymore, so my primary and the most favorite build consists of cooldown reduction boot, Rabadon Death Cap, Proto Belt, Void Staff, Realize Crystal Scepter, and Luden's Echo. Guys, holy shit, this build makes so much damage. Vladimir's passive with this build make you off tanky with 3000 and 500 HP, and even with Proto Belt you are able to get closer to your targets and have bonus AoE damage, which Vlad benefits perfect from. With this build, even in absolutely underfed games, I was able to do the highest damage in game. All you need to do is rush Rabadon, then Proto Belt and cooldown reduction boots. If you are able to build these 3 items until 20th or 25th minute, you will carry game for sure. After these items, it doesn't matter what item will you buy next. It can be Void Staff if they are building Magic Resist, or Relay if you want to be off tank sooner, or Luden's Echo if you want to have bonus movement speed and bonus damage. It really doesn't matter, just adapt it to a single game. Another options for items can be Abyssal Scepter, Zoniar's Hourglass, Leander's Torment, or Spirit Wizard. Feel free to try all these items I showed there right now. That are 10 best items for Vlad, and you will find out best choice for you and for your playstyle. But if I should give you an advice, full AP Vladimir with my favorite build is the most funny and the most viable option, I think. In the end of the video, after we successfully talk about Vladimir and his changes, runes and masteries for him, summoner spells and possible builds, I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to get feed with him, how to farm and trade on laning phase, and how to prepare or win teamfights later. So at first, you have to learn farming just with auto hits. Vladimir's cooldowns on lower levels are really high. First Q have 9 seconds cooldown, first E 13 seconds, and first W 28 seconds, which is really too much. So if you want to focus also on harassing your opponent on the lane, especially melee champions, then you have to save your cooldowns for them. There are many ways how to get better in farming with auto hits. One of them is simply play a lot and focus on farm, but what I truly recommend is to turn off your runes and masteries, go for a solo custom game, or if you want with a bot, and focus there just on last hitting without spells. Vladimir's basic attack damage is something around 50, which means that if you can learn farming with 50 AD, then you can farm very well not only with him but almost with every champion. So this technique is really good for improving your overall skills in League of Legends. Against higher end champions it's much different, because if they can poke you, you have to heal your health back by using Q, and it's okay. In trades with the ranged champions, feel free to prepare your third Q coming, because this Q is really strong tool to make trades, even just with a single spell. It deals absolutely heavy damage to your opponent, and on the other side heals you for a high amount of your health. So using this for trades is the best way to be successful, not only in laning phase but also in team fights. Now let's check how to trade with opponents. Against melee champions it's not so hard. Just farm with the auto hits, and every time they try to farm, use Q and auto attack on them. If they are not standing behind minions, of course don't save your E and use it also, but what I have to underline here is to don't underestimate your auto attacks. You can use auto attack in the same time with your Q, and a lot of times it can help you to win trades, or at least to be on the same level, which is not bad for Vlad, because after that he can heal himself back. Even if you are building Proto Belt, would I highly recommend to do, part item Hextech Revolver has its passive to do additional magic damage on auto attack. Using this is really effective for Vlad against both types of champions, ranged or melee. This way, to poke melee champions on half of their HP, and with my recommended AP build, prepare a good situation for you. You can simply surprise them with a ghost or, if it's necessary, with a flash and well executed combo of Vladimir. Just prepare your third Q coming, charge up your E, flash to them, and instantly release full charged E and use third Q. It's almost impossible to avoid it, and to paper targets it deals half of their HP. If you already have your ultimate up, it can deal even more damage and bring you easy kill and feed. Just check few examples here. In this situation, I knew that Victor doesn't have flash. Ghost is enough then to surprise him with the combo. So prepare your third Q coming, push Ghost, ultimate, third Q, E. That's it. It doesn't matter if you use first E or Q, because your third Q fade away much slower while you are charging your E. In the next example, it's Z, so I had to use my flash to surprise him. Here's the combo. Prepare your third Q, charge up your E, flash and the combo. Don't forget the auto attack if it's necessary, like in this play. There is also one more possible situation in laning phase, and it's when your enemy is too defensive to poke him down, or longer in champions that doesn't allow you to get close enough to deal damage. In these situations it's absolutely clear. Just stay back, buy more potions, avoid their pokes, try to farm as much as it is possible, and wait for ganks from your jungler. Even if your jungler doesn't tend to come gank, not a problem. With a decent farm and after buy, you can roam on bot lane where you have at least one paper enemy, and it's ADC, which is not hard target if you have your summoner spells and ultimate up. Okay, finally we are getting close to the end of the video. Last thing I have to talk about is how to carry teamfights on mid game and late game. There are two things you have to have in your mind while playing Vladimir with this build. The first is that you can't get caught. You must be the one who is engaging and surprising enemies with heavy engage and damage. So if it's possible for every important fight in the late game, you need to have your ghost or flash prepared. The best is if you have both of these summoner spells up. The second one is that you can simply delete every squishy target, which usually used to be AD carry and AP carry. Okay, sometimes it's Timo from top lane, but it's not so usual, so have in mind that you have to focus on squishy targets in enemy team. Now, if you know all these necessary things, we can deal with enemy team. It's very good if you have team that can engage teamfight for you. Champions like Malphite, Amu, Sechuani, Braum, Leona, Treasure, Blitzcrank can do this, but it's not a big deal if you don't have team like that. Before every team fight, you need to have prepared your third Q, or at least the second one, so you can avoid situations when you have to use free Qs to do maximal damage output. If you have it, then carefully wait for perfect moment to strike. Again, charge up your E, flash to the right position, release E, use ultimate to more targets, use Q to a target you want to delete first, and then W with Proto Belt and Ghost to make another damage, and good position if fight will continue after your W. After this combo, usually it's kind of improvisation. I can't tell you exactly what to do next because every single team fight is different, but if you can do this combo correctly and fast, then you can take with you at least 2 or 3 full health. Even if you will die after that, you simply prepared team fight for the win. If you are not sure if you can play Vladimir without Zhonya's, feel free to take it. It can save your life in this combo after your pool ends. As you can see in the examples here, damage of AP Vladimir is really insane. In some plays I was not fed, in some of them even underfed, but still you can delete paper targets in enemy team. Okay guys, that's all for my Vladimir guide. I know it's not comprehensive guide, rather I would like to hear all your opinions and begin debate about your experience with Vladimir. I will try answer every single comment under this video, so feel free to ask me anything that was not said in the video and you want to know, because it's clear that we are learning something new even after thousands of games with the champion, so I hope we can find the best way to play Vladimir together. Thanks for watching and I'm looking forward to your feedback. Peace out guys.